Welcome to Maas-Mechelen in Belgium on the Devil's Mountain for the opening round of the Belgian Rallycross Championship 2016. A very wet and muddy Devil's Mountain. And this is reigning champion Jochen Koks, no longer with his familiar VW Sirocco, but with his new VW Polo from the Maasmechelen Motorsport Workshop.
Nieuw seizoen, nieuwe wagen.
We have a new car for the new season, so new chances. We worked very hard to find the necessary budget to get this car, but we have to find the right setup for the car. This is a car from Maasmechelen Motorsport that was used by Tanner Faust last year in the States. We picked up the car in December and we've completely checked it, so it's as new right now.
En eigenlijk is hem gelijk nieuw.
A welcome addition to the Belgian Rallycross Championship and the VW Polo. But unfortunately for this opening round, it comes down in buckets and we go to the start of the first heat in the Super 1600 category with Willem Veltman in the Citroën C2 on the outside. Will he take the best start? No, it's the Toyota Yaris of Danny Luiten. And Veltman loses it there on the outside, as you can see in the background. No more Citroën C2 then, so it's Luiten leading from the Ford Fiesta of Thijs Heesen, the yellow car, followed by Pascal Raumans in the blue Ford Fiesta. Very tricky conditions, especially for the cars following the leader, with the spray and the mud thrown on the windscreen. Visibility is not optimal. Joker lap then for Danny Luiten, followed by Thijs Heesen in the Ford Fiesta. Will they both come out in front of the Fiesta of Raumans? Yes, they will. So it's still the Yaris from the yellow Fiesta and the blue Fiesta, although those two Fiestas look very muddy and dirty. Up the Devil's Mountain again. Can Heesen put Luiten under pressure? For the moment it looks like the Yaris will take the first heat win of the new season. There is Heesen, the Dutchman, going in the final lap. And he misses his braking point and he slides off the circuit. Very bizarre incident, but that means that Danny Luiten certainly wins this first heat of 2016 in the Super 1600 category. Let's talk to Thijs Heesen about what happened there.
Nu hier in Maasmechelen, moeilijke omstandigheden.
Difficult circumstances here. How is it going?
Ja, het is vrij nat.
Yeah, it's very wet and slippery, and we don't have the right setup for the moment. So we'll try to change and go to win. What happened there at the end of that heat? No more had fluid to clean the front windscreen, so I just went off. Spectators remain in the rain, and this is the Supernationals over 2 liter category. With Ludo Hermans in the Ford Escort taking the best start from favorite Christoph Becks. That is not such a good surprise for Becks. Behind them it's Björn Barkhoff in the VW Polo, the red machine. But Becks now down to chase Ludo Hermans in the Ford Escort. Barkhoff already went for the Joker lap, so might create a surprise. Becks here a bit quicker than Hermans clearly. He can't get past him on the outside. Hermans sticks to the apex up the mountain. Makes no mistakes coming out of the final corner. Very clean lines there for Hermans. And Becks can't get past for the moment. He'll have to wait for the Joker lap, and maybe he will take his own Joker lap right now. Yes, he will. Can he stay in front of the VW Polo of Barkhoff? Who's coming out of the first corner right now. There's Barkhoff, and Becks stays in front. So he's back down to Hermans and Becks now. And there's a yellow flag there. Somebody went off. Oh, that's Barkhoff in the Polo. That's not good for the German. Hermans still has to do his Joker lap. There he goes. And Becks takes the lead and is heading for this heat win. Might have lost some time in those opening laps though. Let's see what he can recuperate with this fast last lap. Look at the gap that he already created towards Ludo Hermans. So it's a heat win for Christoph Becks, and he sets the second time overall, so not so bad a result then. Hermans in third, on the slippery track, and Michael Allowense in the BMW drifting through the final corner. Very good showmanship there. So heat win for Christoph Becks.
Nu hier vandaag in Maasmechelen, heel moeilijk omstandigheden.
Very difficult circumstances here in Maasmechelen today. How difficult is it? Well, it was rather good. We didn't have a good start and we had to behind Luda, so that heat was already cancelled. But still a good time. Yeah, after all, we set the second time, so that's not too bad. Off to the heat then of the Supercars. This is the second heat of the Supercars. The first one was won by Jochen Kogs, who's on the inside, and he takes the whole shot again. Right in front of Guy Moreton in the VW Sirocco that Kogs drove last year. Johnny Verkueringen in the Subaru is in third, with Jos Janssen in fourth and Will Turlings in fifth. So Kogs leading from the car that took him to the title last year. Jos Janssen already took his joker lap. Might be good tactics there. Oh, a mistake from Kogs. He loses 2 spots there. Was very fortunate not to get stuck in the gravel trap. But now it's Guy Moreton leading the Frenchman from Johnny Verkueringen. And Kogs tries to make up ground. Goes for the joker lap. Verkueringen coming out of the joker lap. Will he stay in front of Jos Janssen? There's the blue Ford. Verkueringen on the outside. Just a bit wide. Janssen tries again. No, it's Verkueringen. It's still the Sirocco of Moreton in front. Oh, mistake by Verkueringen here. Leaves a gap on the inside. You cannot do that with Jos Janssen. He will certainly take advantage of that. Meanwhile, at the front, still Moreton. Kogs tries the outside line. Does not work for the moment. The VW a bit more powerful than the VW Sirocco. Joker lap now for Jochen Kogs. He will probably stay in front of Verkueringen. The gap was big enough. And here Moreton coming out of the final corner, and that is a mistake. Going into the final lap, and Kogs takes the lead. He's heading for another heat win. And Moreton still has to do his joker lap as well, so he will lose second place to the Subaru of Verkueringen. Sun coming out now, fortunately for the fans. And very sunny conditions for Jochen Kogs as well. Takes the second heat win and is already sure of pole position in the final. Good result for the VW man. And a good heat for Guy Moreton as well.
Guy en championnat de Belgique pour
découvrir. Guy in the Belgian Championship to get to learn the car, I presume. Yes, well, it's not the ideal circumstances to get to learn a car, but we're working on it. We had some good starts already. Now I just have to increase my confidence during the races. But I think I'm pretty convinced that in the end it'll work out. And you will do the French Championship this year? Yes, I want to be in the top 3 of the French Championship, but we will do another round of the Belgian Championship as well, but we have to choose which one. Final heats then, and this is Steven Stessens in the Supernationals on that 2-liter category. Steven Stessens, the reigning champion, with Yves Thelen in the Citroën Saxo and the Seat Ibiza of Bert Konings in third. Steven Stessens had some good heats already, and it looks like he's going to take the win here as well. Thelen goes for an early joker lap. If he doesn't lose too much time behind Konings, and if Konings makes a mistake like this, and Thelen can take advantage of it, and he does. This might look good for Yves Thelen. A powerful Citroën Saxo, still a good weapon for the Belgian Rallycross Championship. Can he make up ground on Steven Stessens in the Vauxhall Nova? It all depends what Stessens do, probably. Still has to do his joker lap though. Here's the champion with the big number 1 on the doors. Here comes into the joker lap, and there is Yves Thelen in the red Citroën Saxo. Can Stessens remain in front? Yes, he does. He has a couple of cars lengths between him and Yves Thelen, and he's heading for another heat win. It's looking to be a good day and good chances for the final for Stessens taking this heat win.
Steven, hoe was de derde rit?
Steven, how was the third heat for you? Yeah, the third heat was rather well. I switched from the rain tires to slicks to try out something for the finals, and it worked well. I said the second time, so I'm happy.
Nu een nieuw seizoen.
So new season,
Niet de grote kandidaat voor de titel.
and you're again one of the candidates for the title. How you take this championship? I want to have fun this year. There's a lot of new competitors in my class. The level has increased, so I want to have fun. Back on the Devil's Mountain in Maasmechelen for the opening round of the Belgian Rallycross Championship 2016. And the sun is back, fortunately, for the numerous fans alongside this spectacular track. And we're in the final stage now. This is the RST Cup with two Dutchmen in the final, one Belgian, and the Belgian Robbe van den Brand completely misses his start. So it's between Pim Garvelink and Jordi van Weert now. Robbe van den Brand gets his car going, but he's lost too much time to make up ground to these two. And let's see if Jordi van Weert can put his countryman Pim Garvelink under pressure. For the moment he's a bit of some car lengths behind, and there was a bit of a slide there for Jordi van Weert as well. Still slippery conditions, of course, even though the sun has come out. Look at how Garvelink comes out of that final corner. Excellent cars to get to learn the trade, those RST Cups. Looks like Jordi van Weert has closed the gap just a little bit, but not enough for the moment. I think he will need a mistake from Garvelink to put him under pressure. Garvelink for the moment does not make that mistake. Van Weert has to be happy with second for the moment. And there comes Garvelink out of the final corner. First win of the season is for Garvelink, Pim Garvelink. Jordi van Weert, his Dutch countryman, is in second. And Robbe van den Brand finishes in third, the first of the Belgians in this final. Off to the next final then, with Steven Stessens on pole position in the Supernationals under 2 litre category. Next to him, the Volvo of Danny de Beukelaar, on the outside the green BMW of Martin van Hoven, and a good start from Steven Stessens, and it starts to rain again. And Stessens is on slick tires, as he's told us before the final. This might become very difficult for the reigning champion. Martin van Hoven goes for an early joker lap. He will slot in behind the Toyota Yaris of Peter van der Wegen, probably. Yes, he does. There he goes. Oh, slight contact there with the Yaris. Goes sideways van der Wegen, but he remains in third up to the braking zone, and he misses the braking zone for the mountain. And van der Wegen loses third place to Van Hoven. The BMW driver now in third, and in front still Steven Stessens on his slick tires. How does he do that in this heavy rain? Danny de Beukelaar is on his joker lap. Can he stay in second? Because there is Martin van Hoven. Martin van Hoven sliding wide, hitting the Volvo, and Van Hoven takes back second. There's damage on the front of the BMW, and there's some damage at the back now as well. But the car is still fast enough to hold on to that second position. And Steven Stessens, like it is not raining at all, keeps this race completely under control. Can Van Hoven close the gap, because Stessens still has to do his joker lap, of course. But he remains faultless for the moment. There he is, the Vauxhall driver, into the joker lap. Can he come out in front of the BMW? Without a problem even. His slick tires can cope well with these conditions. And there is Steven Stessens taking the first win of the 2016 season.
Steven, vlak voor de finale.
Steven, right before the final, it started to rain. You were in slicks. How was that? Well, we had a good start, but it was very difficult. The fast bits were dry, but the short and technical situations was no grip at all. So it was we had to fight hard. But you still had a good start to the season, the perfect start. Yeah, fantastic. Yesterday we drove another race in a regional championship. Nothing went, and then this morning the sun started to shine for us, and it was fantastic.
Het was echt goed.
Steven Stessens wins the opening round from Martin van Hoven, dan Danny de Beukelaar in third, Peter van der Wegen in fourth, and Yves Dillon in fifth. And with this heavy rain, let's see what these Super 1600 cars can do. It's reigning champion Davy van den Brande, again reigning champion on pole position. He has the best start, and there's Hazen completely misses his start in the yellow Ford Fiesta. And he has to let go Raymond and Romans in the red and blue Fiestas. Hazen recuperates third position. And we're driving with the reigning champion Davy van den Brande in the Citroën DS3. Has everything under control, no sudden movements for Van den Brande. And here's Pascal Romans chasing Danny Luiten in the Toyota Yaris. Van den Brande comes out of the final corner. It's second Raymond, and Dan Luiten in the Yaris goes a bit wide and loses 2 positions to Romans, and there's Hazen in the yellow Ford Fiesta. Unfortunate there for Danny Luiten. It looked like he was heading for a possible podium finish. Raymond still in second, and then 2 other Fiestas. So it's 1 Citroën followed by 3 Fiestas, and here's Hazen. He finds an inside line, he finds a gap that's just 2 centimeters wider than his Ford Fiesta, and he puts his car in it. And he takes away third from Pascal Romans. Great move there from the Dutchman. And can he go for Dennis Raymond now, who's in second at the moment? In the lead, of course, it's still Davy van den Brande going into his Joker lap. His lead is big enough. No pressure on the Citroën driver. Comes out of the Joker lap, still in the lead. Really dominating this Super 1600 category, Van den Brande. Really loves these circumstances as well. Down the mountain. And there he comes out of the final corner. A very deserved win for Davy van den Brande. Davy, congratulations, a nice win in his first race of the year. Yeah, it was a perfect day today. Everything worked well. I won the heat, the fastest time, and took the lead in the final and won. I hoped for bad weather conditions because I really love them, and I'm very happy that it works out today. Van den Brande wins it then from Thijs Hazen. Pascal Romans, Dennis Raymond is up to 4th in the end, and Danny Luiten finishes in 5th. To the Supernational over 2 litre then with Steve Volders, the reigning champion, but he had a false start before, so that means he has to take 2 Joker laps in this final. Let's see how he copes with that in his Ford Escort. He has the whole shot by a big margin from Christoph Becks and Bert Bosmans in the Volvo 242. So 2 Joker laps for Steve Volders. This will be the first one already. That means he loses the lead probably to Christoph Becks in the Volvo. Of course, Becks knows that Volders has to do 2 Joker laps, so he might play it safe during this final. Still very wet conditions there. Becks sliding around the corner, as is Bert Bosmans. This is 242 Volvo. In third he is, in front of a couple of BMWs like the one from Treacles and the one from Peter Thijs. Steve Volders chasing Christoph Becks. Becks is even increasing his lead. It doesn't look good for Volders, but Becks goes for the Joker lap now, so Volders has to retake the lead now and try to create a gap to keep the lead after his second Joker lap. Let's see if he can do that. Here's the Escort, here's the Volvo. Volders has a bit of a gap, but that looks like it's not enough. Will he go for the Joker lap this time? Yes, he does. Joker lap number 2 then. Penalty for that false start. Windscreen steaming up, and it's Becks retaking the lead. Maybe a slight mistake there. Now Volders is right behind Becks on his rear bumper. But Becks doesn't bend under pressure. He doesn't break under pressure, and he takes the opening win of the season.
Christophe,
nice victory to start the season. Yes, everything went well. Steve had to do 2 Joker laps, so there was no pressure. We just kept after Steve, and there's no problem. A relaxed win for Christoph Becks then from Steve Volders, Bert Bosmans in 3rd, Luther Peters in 4th, and Peter Thijs in 5th. And the rain keeps coming down hard in Maasmechelen for the opening round. And the first Supercar final of the year with a bad start from the Subaru of Johnny Verkeuringen, and it is reigning champion Jochen Koks who takes the lead. Koks, who needed the help of his competitor Jos Janssen to repair a gearbox problem. And he thanks his guardian angel with beating him to the first corner. So Koks leading from Jos Janssen. Then Will Teurlings in the Volvo in third. And Guy Moreton went for the Joker app already. Pity about the Subaru of Verkeuringen. He might have caused some trouble for Koks, but it's still a long way to go in this final. Here's Guy Moreton. Look how difficult these conditions are. And Moreton doesn't really know this circuit, and he goes a bit wide here. That might cost him a position. Yes, it does. Johnny Verkeuringen, after his bad start, is back into fourth. Koks still leading. It looks like the champion will take his first win of the new year in the first year into the Joker lap. Really stay in front of Jos Janssen in the blue Ford Focus. He takes the outside line and he stays in front of Janssen. Good racing there by Koks. A lot of water on the track as well. These three cars will decide the outcome of the final, I think, and Guy Moreton retires. Finds that the conditions a bit too dangerous, maybe. And here's Koks, oh, wide out of the last corner. Can he hold on to the lead? Yes, he can. A bit of damage, but that's not too bad. And another slide for Koks, and this one's bigger. This one's it. That's it for Jochen Koks, probably. Or can he get out of that gravel trap? Yes, he can, but he's in fourth position. And that's his chances for a win over, certainly. Nobody can recuperate from such a loss. So it's Jos Janssen leading now from Will Teurlings. No, it's Will Teurlings leading because Jos Janssen took his Joker lap and he stays behind Johnny Verkeuringen. And Verkeuringen has taken his Joker lap and Teurlings hasn't. This might be the Subaru's man's day. And a slight mistake there for Teurlings. Verkeuringen in second. Had the worst start possible. Teurlings slides wide and Verkeuringen takes the lead. What a surprise. He was last into the first corner and now he's in the lead. Teurlings goes for the Joker lap and that means that Koks is now in second because Jos Janssen has disappeared. Can he put Verkeuringen under pressure, Jochen Koks? Certainly not. Certainly he cannot recuperate from that mistake there, sliding into the gravel trap. But there is still just over 2 laps to go. Here we go, into the penultimate lap. Verkeuringen driving very well in these difficult circumstances. Oh, he slides wide and this. Oh, what a mistake for Verkeuringen. The car twitched back on him and Jochen Koks is back in the lead. How does this happen? The man was in fourth, was out of the race a couple of laps ago, but with his new VW Polo, he picked them off one by one and he takes the first win of the new season.
Jochen, wat een finale. Het leek helemaal verloren.
Jochen, what a great final. It looked like everything was lost. Yeah, it was a fantastic final. I had a good start. I was leading. And then I slid wide because it was raining very hard. I went into the gravel trap. And I got out of it. I was in fourth, and then I took them one by one. And then 2 others went off as well, so I was a bit lucky, but it was fantastic. And an ideal first race of the year. Yes, ideal, very much. If you have a new car and you can win the first one, it feels very good. So Koks wins it from Verkeuringen and Janssen, still in third from Teurlings and Moreton. And that was it for the first round of the 2016 season. See you next time with a bit of sun.